Hello, y'all. Today is Monday, December 27th, 2021 at 12:39 a.m. So, I figured that bastard. I figured that as tired as I am, you know, I figured that as tired as I am that I would still do a video while it's still dark and turn off, the light to save storage space on my phone because I didn't want to wait until tomorrow morning. Well, later this morning, like in like 8 to 10 hours or something, if I woke up and then try to do a video, and 26 minutes would take up an entire 4 gigabytes on my phone, and then I don't know how I'm gonna be feeling. I don't know how much sleep I'm gonna end up getting tonight. Or I don't know what time I'm gonna wake up, and I don't know how what my energy level is gonna be. If I'm gonna be tired and exhausted, or if I'm gonna be uppity and energetic. I don't know, and I don't know what to plan for tomorrow. So but it's like I'm still too depressed and exhausted to if I had to do any work tomorrow, if I got hired for another job, I'm still kind of feeling like I ain't ready yet, to try to, you know, but I probably, if somebody notified me tomorrow, I kind of feel like as if I would need a day or two extra to prepare. But then again, I guess it would be better if I were to start something tomorrow. That way, there'll be a little bit more money for me, and less than I have to depend on anybody. So, I mean, I'm still feeling kind of down and depressed, and feeling defeated, and and sleep deprivation is making me feel worse. So, like I kind of, I mean, I don't know yet what I'm gonna end up doing tomorrow. Well, I keep saying tomorrow, but it's past midnight. I mean, later on today. So I don't plan to do this video for 30 minutes, but I don't know if I might be do. I don't know how long this video is gonna be, and I don't even know what really to talk about right now. But I'm just feeling like as if I could never, even if when I was getting to sleep over these past few weeks, I always felt tired and could never feel normal or well rested enough. But then when I would take the coconut oil, take 2 solid tablespoons of it, the energy that I did have, the physical energy, I felt kind of weird, like it wasn't normal. Kind of felt, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, it was odd and strange that I had physical energy and was less tired, but I was able to get more work out of the way, but it's like I'm sick and tired of people who don't understand what a person is going through, but at the same time try to be judgmental. They try to judge something that they never really had to suffer or experience. You know, something they never had to struggle through. So it's easier for somebody to tell you to ignore gang stalking and call it petty if you never really experienced it. But I feel like, as far as dealing with gang stalking, I think that we or trauma, trauma abuse, trauma and abuse and gang stalking. I feel like, narcissistic abuse and gang stalking. It seems like as if I feel like as if everybody has their own method of healing and their own journey. But we gotta be careful to not use anything satanic, witchcraft, or new age or occultic. Be careful to not use those tactics or methods to try to heal. That's bad. But other than that, I guess we have our own way of trying to heal. And I don't think one person should tell another person how they should handle. Maybe you can give a little advice or suggestions, but I don't think you should try to dictate how a person should deal with their healing journey, um, with the gang stalking or any trauma or abuse or narcissistic abuse or anything bad in their lives that they feel broken about. So but I mean, some people might feel like it's therapeutic to talk about, I mean, be open and vocal about what they've been through, and others feel like maybe, they should be quiet. But just because you feel like you should be quiet doesn't mean I have to be forced to be quiet or be judged or condemned for being outspoken, about my experiences. And so but some some people may not make the connection that narcissistic abuse and gang stalking are interrelated. And some people think that I guess they try to separate it by making it like as if it's just a personal narcissistic relationship with the husband or boyfriend or baby daddy or mother or sibling, and then, you know, that they just have personal flying monkeys to keep tabs on you. But a lot of the times it's full blown gang stalking. That people might make it like as if it's just abuse by proxy or proxy stalking, and it's a whole gang stalking system. And so and it's mainly spiritual, but it's spirit. It's the biggest thing is spiritual, but then technology is used as a weapon with their spiritual way of trying to destroy you. If you can think about Ephesians 6 verses 11 through 18, I think it's mainly in like Ephesians 6 and 12 that that is more like a spiritual battle but between people. And a lot of people who are truthers, they talk about the movie They Live. If anybody ever saw it, I think it was 1988 or something. And when I was little, I don't recall seeing that movie when I was little. But years later, after 2011, I saw They Live, and I think I saw bits and pieces of it recently. The movie They Live, We Sleep, and you hear a lot about predictive programming and stuff like that. And of course, a lot of targeted individuals know about the Truman Show, and I hear about the Stepford Wives also. I'm still not quite clear on the Stepford Wives or anything like that. In relation to gang stalking, the Stepford Wives. So it's like And some people, it's like getting over trauma is um sometimes some people have some people get when they get over trauma, it's like some people are able to get over it faster than others. But just because you've healed, you beat down and condemn someone else because they have not completely fully healed yet, and sometimes you make them feel ashamed because they have not healed yet. And it's like you blame that person and say that they're the narcissist with victim mentality and that they just want somebody to feel sorry for them, and that's not really the case. When it really seems like, the entire world is against you and you really don't have much of anybody, and somebody see you have something bad happen to you and nobody cares to step in and help. Like everybody just look like nobody gives a damn, if something bad happened to you and you're injured and everybody just leave you there and all these people walk by and nobody care to try to get you any help. But they're quick to rescue an animal, and they try to justify why they care about animals so much. And so they got I mean, stuff like this with them trying to shine their lights into my window. I've been trying to not film every time they do it. I try to just I try to put the blanket over my head or turn the other way so I won't see it. You know, and I've been walking around still being fearful of the gang stalkers and trying to practice to fight my fear or wonder if I could just walk out and go to challenge myself to go walk to the library and not film anything. But then it's like when I let my guard down, that's when there's the whole damn shit show. That basically when I gotta film and feel like, oh hell no, this is too bad, like y'all gotta see this. But then at the same time, me having my phone as my protection to film them and filming my entire walks, it's like they keep their harassment at a minimum. But some of these bastards want to be seen and some of them want to hide, you know. And what gets me is how is it that these some of these gang stalkers can pretend like as if they're anti-vaccine, anti-new world order, that they're anti this evil, anti that evil, anti witchcraft, and anti whatever. And and these religious narcs, they just front just to look good. They try to front just to look good and stuff like that. And you know, they'll front like as if they care for people, care for animals, but their actions show different. They'll make it like as if they're good hearted, and they don't see any evil in themselves, but then with the narc victim, they want to point out there's something wrong with everything I do or say, or everything I do or say gets criminalized. And when they see me suffer and fall, that's funny to them. But these are the same people who walk around with elitist mentality and go to they act like the devil 6 days a week and then wait until Sunday to put on their holy mask, their fake holy mask, and then and going when Monday comes. Sometimes as soon as they walk out of the church on a Sunday, then they go back to being the same devil that they've been the other 6 days of the week, and just only put on that mask just for the church, and then after that, go around abusing people and doing people dirty and scamming people, taking advantage of people, exploiting people, extorting, people for sex, money, or whatever else, or blackmailing people, bribing people, participating in, human trafficking or, um, you know, drug trafficking, whatever. And yeah, they want to keep doing this all night long. And there's more traffic at night than during the day, in the middle of the night, because it's after midnight. And it's like, why is such high traffic next door at the business next door? There's such high traffic, but then in the middle of the night, but then during the day they don't be rolling like that. It's like, so I don't know if they're the busiest in past midnight. It's weird, but anyway. So it's like I get beat down and condemned for being more emotionally fragile and sensitive than everybody else, you know. And so I hate it when they have these religious narcs. I've talked about this before about how they just automatically, when you got something bad going on your in your life, and they just automatically assume that they know that you're not reading the Bible or praying. But they're the ones who are short fused and intolerant of your existence, and they're easily vexed and annoyed about everything about you. And like, how can they have so many cars do this? Look, yeah, right when I put the camera on them, that's when they stop. But and so it's like religious narcs. Look how bright that is. I mean, them doing that with, like, during the time when I'm trying to sleep or whatever. But religious narcs, they'll try to use slick ways to try to, instead of helping you get closer to God, it's like they try to covertly plant the seed. Like, they would project their feelings and opinions about your life or whatever, and they'll act like as if they're trying to plant that seed to try to get you to hate God. That's what they have. I mean, instead of winning souls to Jesus Christ, I think it's in Matthew chapter 23 and 15. About how they make one proselyte and then turn them more of a child of hell than themselves. They'll try to make it like as if it's like they'll try to you know use covert and underhanded ways to try to act like as if they're trying to get you to hate God or be angry at God, but it's actually they're projecting their feelings onto you and then making it like that. Well, this is what God thinks about you, but it's actually them. So if they might be like, well, God might not be ready for you to get you a place yet, or God might God is keeping you homeless for a reason, and then try to make it like, well, you did such and such bad to deserve it, so you did such and such bad in your life to deserve to be homeless, so God is chastising and punishing you, and you haven't been reading the Bible or praying, or you haven't been having enough faith and stuff like that. And the same thing with the car, that, well, well, there's a reason why God, has not blessed you with a car yet and stuff like that, you know. And it's like, wow, it's like y'all really trying to, it's like y'all agenda is to try to get me to turn away. Cause they trying to make it like as if they're trying to get you to feel like, well, I don't want to serve a God who all he gonna do is just punish, because that's their narcissistic projection, trying to because it's like, I know damn well that God wouldn't feel about me about how the gang stalkers will feel. If the gang stalkers don't want me driving, or don't want me a car, or gang stalkers don't want me, I mean, they want me homeless. Or people might be like, well, God might not want you to go to the beach, or God might not want you to get married or have kids. Or so if you might think the same, that God feels that I don't have the mentality. If God would punish me because he might think that I would be a poor parent, well, why hasn't he punished other people then, or prevented them in advance? I mean, other people can reproduce and have kids or get married or whatever, or can live productive lives, but why the hell would or they'll make it like as if, the workplace mobbing that that I would go through, or whatever, that you know that God put me in this predicament, or that God wants you to go through this gang stalking, or whatever situation, that he might want, that or that that you did something bad or wrong, or some sin in your life, and that's the reason why you're suffering, or you haven't done this, or you haven't been fasting enough, or you haven't been praying, or you got full so much full of demons, and once you get rid of the demons in your life, or get rid of the demons and stuff like that, then God is gonna start blessing you, or he gonna start answering your prayers or whatever. But it's like they'll try to project their they'll try to project their feelings, and then make it like this is what God wants for you, but it's actually them. And it makes me so angry. But it's like, I know that they're manipulative and abusive tactics, so that's why I haven't given up on Jesus, and I still want to serve him. Or they'll feel like, because I wish I had a car, then, oh, you're an idolater, and you worship having a car, or you why you so chasing a car so much, or whatever. Well, if y'all don't want me begging, I figure that having a access, if the gang stalkers would stop sleep depriving me. I feel like, if I can get good sleep every night, and I can get a car, a vehicle, then that can open a door to many more job opportunities, and I won't have to beg or ask for nothing. But lately I've been feeling like as if I've lost the desire anymore to try to strive for the goal of having a car, or wanting to drive anymore, because I'm sitting here thinking about these lockdowns, or or whatever. But figured that, if the shit hit the fan, I thought maybe if I had a car, then I can go and drive away somewhere. But I wouldn't know where to go to. But it's it's like, yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about end times and stuff like that too, preparing for the end. But I feel like, I mean, I know that when I die, I won't be able to take a car, with me to eternity. But I'm saying, like, I feel like I would need one to get around while I'm on this earth. And it's like, I don't know why people just like to paint this picture that I'm the worst person, or the potentially worst person in the world, when they got dangerous drivers every damn day. And why do I deserve to be punished from having a car? And I mean, I guess I'm gonna end up going over 30 minutes. But the abusive fake foster mom Adrian Felder, who they call Ann, she planted that seed in my head from teenage years, you know, to try to say that I have no business driving, or I don't have the mentality or the sense to drive, and that I'm not mature enough to drive, and that only people who are mature with sense drive cars. And narcissistic abusers treat me like they don't trust me to drive. But then I see other targeted individuals are seeing, like, some of them saying that the gang stalkers don't want them with a car and with staged car accidents, or try to, just randomly pull you over and give you the police gang stalking police will randomly pull you over and give you a ticket. But I'm just sitting here wondering, like, why would I mean, feeling bitter and angry at people for making it like as if I deserve to be punished from driving or having a car. Because, but then narcissistic abusers, even though some of the ones who claim to be Christian, they act like as if, they have driven in a car and made me feel unsafe in a car while with them driving. And they project their reckless driving onto me, and then they give me dirty looks for driving too careful, and then they laugh at it and make fun. you know I mean, it's like they want to be self-righteous and condemn me about everything and make it like everything I do or say is wrong. But then it's like they want to make like everything I do or say is wrong, and then try to be narcissistic and self-righteous. But if I follow rules and do right, then they got a problem with that too. Like, as if they want me to try to set me up to break rules on purpose, so that I can get into all kinds of trouble. Like, they want to try to, set me up to and try to make a fool out of me, and then set me up to get into trouble I can't get out of. But as I said, the things I want most in life is the things that people want to hinder me from. Things that make me happy. It's like people see a problem with that. Like, I wish I had could now I no longer have that desire. But I mean, I could have had kids between I could have had kids between 18 and 20 years old right now. I probably could have been a grandma with a newborn grandchild right now at my age. But I'm still being treated like a punished child with no freedom, no rights, and I'm not even allowed to express what makes me happy, or I'm not allowed. And then those same people say that I want to be negative and miserable. And it's like, I mean, I mean, I just I mean, religious narcs. I heard that basically they're modern day Pharisees, and they worship Satan in secret, but openly pretend like they worship Jesus Christ. And so then, like, they'd be the main ones who tied. They puff themselves up about how they can tithe the biggest in church. Tithe the biggest amount of money in church in front of everybody, and tithe twice on that same one Sunday in the same one church service, because they got some of these fake church pastors that they'll pass the plate twice on a Sunday, and then you'll get shunned for not having any money. You get shunned for being poor and homeless and not having any money to put in the plate. Or if all you have is 28 cents, they'll try to make like you deserve misfortune in your life. And that's that fake health and wealth prosperity gospel that's not biblical. you know but it's like I know that, me having a car or driving, you know, I just try to fight against the idea that people think I don't have the mentality or the sense to drive, and they so badly don't want me with the car. But as I said, it's very difficult trying to get around, and sometimes me having to carry heavy things, and if I had a car, as I said, will open the door to way more job opportunities. But I'm scared of the idea of trying to get a car because of being scammed or screwed over or being sold a bad car. Spent all that money, and I don't even have enough money for a car right now anyway. But it's like I've been financially hindered with forced low income for so many years. And it's like, well, how with the college degree, people make it like as if I have all these incapabilities, like as if I'm not capable of doing adult things, and people like to just force and fantasize me and keep me like a 38-year-old punished child, and then disrespect me, and refer to me as girl instead of revering and respecting me as a woman when you're 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, and address me as girl instead of respecting me as ma'am or a woman. And then you think you're narcissistic enough to think that I don't deserve to be considered a woman because you have the personal opinion that I'm childish or immature because I'm emotionally sensitive and everything gets underneath my skin, or everything gets to me, or that everything bothers me. You know, and so and I used to cry easily, but now I'm forbidden and not allowed to cry. And then when I do cry, they'll try to make it like as if it's fake crocodile tears or manipulation. They're projecting what they do, you know. So, and so it's like they make threats to keep me forced homeless, and saying that I don't deserve, like they don't want me in motels or hotels. They don't want me to try to get a place. They ran me off Section 8, and they run me off every job I try to get. And so they don't want me to survive. They don't want me to live. And they don't want me to be happy or prosperous. I mean, people need a way to get around. If I can't ride the buses no more, banned from riding the buses because of the gang stalking and crazy stuff. And then they manipulate the Uber rides and gang stalk me with that. And so but I don't even know if some people try to make it like as if you don't have the mentality to drive because you don't have the mentality to deal with the stresses that come with or the responsibility. But I had a car for over a year, like a year and 4 months at least, somewhere around there. Yeah, approximately, almost, yeah, about a year and 4 months that I had a car, and I could have still had a car, that car, if it wasn't for the foster mom. Wait till shortly after I graduate to set up that scenario to have those foster boys, one of them, to physically abuse and beat on me, and I was forced to leave for my safety, and then I had to leave the car behind because I no longer felt safe in the house if the foster mom and the police and everybody ganged up on me and had that 17-year-old foster boy put his hands on me and used violence towards me, and they didn't even do anything about it. They sided with and defended him, and so I just left to go to New York the next day, and was forced to leave my car behind. And that same day, I was supposed to have started a new job. I mean, I got hired right out of college, but because of that incident was what fucked me up. well, one of the things that fucked me up really, really bad, but then New York ended up being worse, so but if that situation wouldn't have happened, I probably could have still had a car for longer. And it's like narcissistic abusers, they'll make sure that things can never go my way. You know, even with me being raped by people who I didn't want to have sex with, being raped and taken advantage of by people who I wouldn't have wanted to marry or date or marry, and they forced themselves on me. And I thought about, but I'm debating on whether or not to do it, to do a video talking about, you know, the various sex and rape situations that I've had, you know, but I figured that I'm scared to do that because the perps would pervert it and twist it and use that as a weapon against me, but some people say that female targeted individuals are raped a lot because of, or taken advantage of because of the human trafficking. And I'm like, oh, so that explains the random rapes. you know, so and it's like, so everybody who cheats or people like unfaithful men or women or people who rape people or people who cheat on a partner, I didn't realize those were part of narcissistic traits too, that if they want to try to do something sexual to you and you say that you don't want it, and then they refuse to, like, they treat you like as if you don't have a right to say no, and they force themselves on you. So I don't even try to, I just try to stay off to myself. I don't even try to get friends no more, and it's like I don't even care to have friends no more. But truly, nobody really would want to listen to, you know another person's hurt, pain. It seems like people only want to hear happy stuff. But then how can I express happy stuff if I'm being suppressed from getting to do happy stuff and experience happy stuff? And then when I try to seek to experience happy stuff, I get condemned for that too. That, I'm not allowed happiness. And basically, they do have a few, but most narcissistic gang stalkers, they'll try to make it like as if they'll try to make it like as if, you know most of them won't tell you, but they'll just, their actions show that basically they're trying to run you off this earth. But I've had a couple or a few gang stalkers, online, of course, straight up tell me that they hate me and they want me to die. I've had a couple of gang stalkers tell me that. And so, no matter how these gang stalkers try to hide, some of them fake TI perps even try to pretend to be Christian or to put on a Christian front. And then if they try to put on a Christian front, but then behind closed, but how you perping people though? But you pretend to be targeted and Christian, and you end up being like one of the worst kind of abusers, you know. And it's like they're to be designed to try to make you give up. They try to their attempts at trying to manipulate you into giving up, your faith in Jesus Christ or your walk with God. and and so the some of the perps who aren't Christian, they straight up tell me, try to make me drop my religion or drop my Christian beliefs, or try to make me drop my faith in Jesus Christ. And those are the same narcissistic perps who try to be my handler. or try to human traffic me. And so I don't understand how these narcissistic perps can get away with their control, abuse, threats, harassment, stalking, and destruction and attempted murder. And it's like I gotta live with this pain every day and keep questioning all the time, what did I do so bad to deserve to be punished? From, like, I feel like as if I'm in a prison without four walls, that I'm not allowed to participate in normal life, but then I get condemned for not being normal. So it's like, and I've heard other targeted individuals, they say how satanic the gang stalkers are, and say that through V2K, that that the gang stalker, that there'll be a Christian targeted individual and get V2K, the voice to skull, and that the V2K people deliver satanic messages to them, and I mean, some targeted individuals say that they might have a 4-year-old child, and that target is a Christian, and then the perps are telling a 4-year-old child through V2K, the voice of skull, telling them sexually perverted and satanic stuff. So the gang stalker Alex Dupree, he more than once bragged about what energy weapons he's hitting me with. You know, and it seems like numerous times Alex has done stuff like trying to, like, done or said stuff on purpose to try to provoke me to hit him, or try to provoke me to violence, deliberately trying to provoke me to violence, or to hit him. But even though I never put my hands on him, and so and Alex, I've seen him fuck with other people out in society too. So I'm not the only one who he bullies and harasses out in society, and I've seen him with my own eyes. I wish I could have recorded and put it on film of him trying to make sexual advances at those military kids. I don't know if they were 18 or 19 years old. I don't know how old they were. but but they even turned to me and said that they felt uncomfortable. You know, why is he trying to flirt at them? And he's over 70 years old, I'm pretty sure. And so he's always wearing sunglasses. I mean, he just seems like the Walking Dead. And Alex tried to act like he was trying to get me to deny Jesus Christ and become a prostitute and a perp just for 6 months, and then say that I'll be set for life after that 6 months. I'm like, yeah, right, cause so I can end up being killed after that right after that 6 month assignment. And so I have not perped anybody. I've never gotten compensated from harming anybody. I never in my life got rewarded for hurting nobody. And I don't go around to seek to try to hurt nobody. I just try to survive and try to live my life. And people make it like as if for me to want to do what makes me happy that I'm committing. I mean, it's like I get condemned for doing what normal people do, but I get condemned for being quote unquote eccentric or strange too. Eccentric or strange. But I don't even go out of my way to try to be eccentric. I'm just just being me, just being myself. And I don't try to play a role. I don't try to be like nobody. I don't try to, I don't try to imitate or emulate nobody. I'm just trying to survive and live my life. And you know, I want to be able to do things, to make me happy or more joyful. And, who knows if I could have had a car and if it weren't for this fake COVID, whatever thing, you know, if I had a car, then it's like if I would have had a car, then I could be driving around. Um, I could have been driving around the country and passing out Christian gospel tracts, to people. I probably could have been driving around the country doing that or something. But I guess I'm just still stuck on the idea of the foster mom drilling it into my head that I'm not mature enough to drive a car, or I don't have the mentality or the sense or no business driving. And then everybody else in society started to treat me the same way, no matter what city and state I'm going to, you know. So I know I've been feeling down about that for years. It's like, why am I being suppressed with trying to get a car and people making like as if I'm strange and weird for wishing I had a car, you know? But they've been suppressing me for years for having enough money to get my own car. And the narcissistic gang stalkers don't even want me to rent a car. But it's like they don't want you with nothing at all. I mean, I get hardcore condemned for the one donut I accept from somebody. If I eat, one donut, I get condemned for that. I get condemned for treating myself to a Chilean sea bass dinner with money that I worked for, you know. So, or I get condemned for going to the beach, which really doesn't cost really any money, you know. So, when I was living in Los Angeles, I didn't have to pay nothing. I mean, I didn't have to pay anything to go to the beach. So, I mean, even if it's swimming in a pool, I get condemned for that too. I get condemned for swimming in a pool. I get condemned for being trying to serve Jesus. I get condemned for wishing that I could have been married or haven't had kids. But the same people who try to falsely accuse me of being a pedophile, they try to falsely accuse me of being a pedophile and molesting kids, and they don't have any proof, and they use that to try to frighten and scare me. When if I stand up to them trying to abuse me, they'll use that to try to keep me in line and think they can keep me under control, or they'll put their hands on me and use violence, like punch me or or hit me, or throw something at me to try to keep me under control and keep me in line. And it's like nobody wants me with the storage unit. And it's like, well, other people have these things. So, you know, why are they not being condemned? If I deserve to be shunned for wasting my money for eating, you know, at a restaurant, why aren't other people um why is it not a waste for them? Or why am I restricted from getting married and having kids? Oh, well, God may not want that for you, or whatever, but so, but now I feel like it's too late for me. I'm 38 years old, but I'm feeling like if it's this close to the end, then I kind of feel like it's pointless for me to even strive for anything success, any success, in this world. And I know we need to live for Jesus, but they got a lot of Christians with cars. It's like, I mean, you have to desire a car in order to get it, or desire a home in order to get it, you know. But they got Christians with houses and cars, but it's made to look like as if I'm idolatrous and covetous by the religious narcs who drive around in brand new 2022 Volvos and stuff like that. You're a religious narc driving a 2022 Volvo, and you're telling me that I'm covetous for wishing I had a car, or wishing that the perps would not mob me off the job or whatever. So it's like when I got this job, I worked a couple of weeks and I started to feel confident enough that I can get my own place and a car and a vehicle. And so shortly after I attempted that, that's when they moved me at the middle school and then reduced the damn hours. And I don't even know if that was done on purpose. And so I mean at the high school I was able to get a little overtime in, working 6 days a week the first 2 or 3 weeks there. And then I ended up working at the middle school and 5 days a week and 34 hours a week. But I mean, as I said, I could have had a little more money left over extra and been able to, you know, get dug out of this situation. I probably could have had me, enough for the first and last month's rent in a permanent place. Almost. I started to feel that kind of confidence. But as soon as I started to inquire about trying to get a car and stuff, that's when they moved me to the middle school, and I ended up getting less work hours. So but people, I'm tired of people making it like as if I'm sinning, like as if I'm committed blasphemy against the Holy Spirit for wishing I could be married with kids, or that I wish I could have a car, or that I wish I can go to the beach, or I like to eat food. I used to love the Spanish language, and they killed my desire for a Spanish career, you know. So I just put Spanish, anything Spanish behind me. And so, I like to research natural health and survival, and, they condemn me about my research too. So the same narcissistic perps who want to falsely accuse me of being a pedophile and molesting kids, and they have no proof or no way to show it, they're the same perps. They're the same ones who always act like as if they want me to babysit their child for free without compensation. You want me to babysit your child for free without compensation. And but the same people who say you don't have the mentality or the sense to drive. But with me, when I do get access to a car, they want to use me to drive them everywhere and then control how I drive. And then they try to set me up. They do stuff on purpose to try to set me up to get nervous and wreck the car. But it's like they do stuff on purpose, But me, normally when I'm by myself, I'm I'm cool with driving, but they want to be abusive and yelling at me and making like as if I'm not a good enough driver. And it's like you yell at me and make me panic. Of course you're gonna. But then they try to say, "Oh, you don't have the mentality or the sense or the business to drive because you're a nervous wreck." Well, you purposely try to make me a nervous wreck. I'm not naturally a nervous wreck, but your abuse is making me a freaking nervous wreck. By you screaming at me, from the top of your lungs, or do stuff like with a deceitful like a smile on their face, eat in the car and smack in my ear while I'm driving on purpose and think it's funny. Just fucking evil and wicked. So I talked longer than I intended, and it's now 1:34 in the morning. So I'm gonna try to see about getting me some sleep. I'll see y'all. Bye.